Gardner-Webb family, we hope everybody's staying safe and healthy, still riding out the present storm in good shape. And today we continue our series of campus conversations, which are designed to help us maintain a strong sense of community, even here in the middle of a global pandemic. And I'm really delighted today to be joined by Verhonda Crawford. And Verhonda's got a really impressive resume. I'm not going to be able to do full justice to it, but let me hit some of the highlights. She is a member of the Gardner-Webb University Board of Trustees. She is a two-time alumna of Gardner-Webb. She earned her BA in Public Relations in 2012, came back and earned her MBA in 2017. Senior class president, 4-year cheerleader, on the Miss GWU pageant court, a member of the Gardner-Webb Gallery of Distinguished Alumni. Are you blushing yet?
I am.
A councilwoman elected as the youngest government official in the state of South Carolina, elected to the council in her hometown of Chesney. She's an entrepreneur, owns businesses VC Consulting LLC and Designs by Verhonda. So thanks to the good people at Zoom, Verhonda's speaking to us from her hometown of Chesney, and we're just delighted to have you with us. How are things south of the border, and how's COVID-19 impacted your life?
Well, right now I'm sitting in my living room in the good old city of Chesney. It's a beautiful day. Outside a little chilly, but it's beautiful. I really say that COVID-19 had really directly impacted my life because my full-time job as a director of marketing for the Palmetto Boy Scouts of America. So everything had to be reverted to home, working from home. And I'm very blessed to still have a full-time job right now and still able to consult with my clients via VC consulting. So it has really been a major life adjustment because right now we're in this new norm.
So walk us back in time a little bit, if you would, Verhonda. You've been caught in the web, as we say, since about 2008.
Yes.
Was it proximity to Gardner-Webb that made you choose us, or what led you to Gardner-Webb?
Oh man, this is actually a funny story. So I thought Gardner-Webb was farther away than what it was. So every time my parents would go to Charlotte, I would see the sign to Gardner-Webb on 85. And in my mind, it's like an hour close enough. If I need to go back home, I can. And then my dad was like, no ma'am, it's not. I'm going to show you how to get to Gardner-Webb the back way. I was like, no, you got to go down 85. It's like 20 minutes later, we were on campus. But what really brought me to Gardner-Webb, the Lord told me that I would be at a school that is red and black, and that I would cheer for a cheer program that was the Bulldogs. But I'm not a Georgia fan, and I knew that I wouldn't be successful at a big school because I am a social butterfly. I need that one-on-one connection with my professors. I need my professor to see me on a quad and hold me accountable. So I was like, I don't think that's the school for me. And then through the National Beta Club, I met Donnie Thurman, another great Gardner-Webb alumni. And he was like, have you ever heard of Gardner-Webb? I was like, no, I haven't, because at that point, I really wanted a Christian environment and I wanted a small school. And he was like, yeah, it's Gardner-Webb, and he told me all these great things about it. And that's when I already kind of had an idea of seeing the sign on 85. And so my dad, we went on a driving tour, and actually Gardner-Webb was the only school that I applied to. I kind of lied to my parents and said I applied to 3 other schools, but if it wasn't Gardner-Webb that was going to accept me, I said in my mind, I'm just not going to go to college. I was that stubborn 18-year-old, like, I want to go to Gardner-Webb. I want to cheer. And I met so many great people through that process. And I really think it was the Lord that led me to be in the web. Yes.
You were destined to be a Bulldog.
I was destined to be a Bulldog, yes.
So you finish up your bachelor's degree. What were you doing in between your bachelor's and your MBA, and what led you to decide to come back and get that graduate credential?
So I was a event coordinator and convention coordinator for the National Beta Club. So I was putting in tons of hours, going from hotel to hotel, airport to airport, and loving that life. But I realized that if I ever want to be an executive officer, because my goal is one day be a chief marketing officer of a Fortune 500 or a nonprofit, that I need to make sure that I have a master's degree. And so in the middle of all that traveling, and I realized that like I would not be able to move up if one day I do want to have a family, you know, be in a higher tier of a salary, that I need a master's degree. So then that's when I decided to go back and get my master's.
And what were some of the skills that you had cultivated then that really helped your growth and your growth goals?
Oh, I could actually tell you to the exact moment when that happened. I was sitting in accounting class with Dr. Godfrey, and we were just going through a lesson about accounting. One is not one of my strong points. I'm a marketer. But we were sitting going through these balance sheets and all these hypotheticals. And I remember telling him after class, I said, if this stuff is really true, and if what you're really teaching us in this master program, if I could really apply it to my life and it really works, I'm going to test it. So 2 weeks later, I quit my job. I am starting my business. And in the middle of my master program, Dr. Godfrey was like, oh my God, are you really doing this? I was like, yeah, I am, because the information that I received during my master program really gave me the tools and the confidence to say, if I want to take this leap of faith and go out on my own and start a business, I can do it. And that I have the tools to be successful. And I would have to say it was that sitting in that accounting class and looking at the figures and being realistic about my life and like, I can do this. And Gardner-Webb have equipped me to make that change in my life.
I like the way you put it. Gardner-Webb gave you the tools to give you the confidence to help you make a leap of faith. That's
yes.
You graduate with the MBA.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go on later to become the youngest elected government official in the state. That's a wow. That's a wow moment. What led you to pursue public office?
My mother and father always instilled in my sister and I to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. My father was on the city council here in Chesney when I was young, and so he always involved my sister and I in the process of government and how important local government is in the grand scheme of everything. So he did instill me that, like, if you see a problem, just don't complain about it. Make sure you are at a position that you can have a solution to that problem.
We've got a lot of students here in the social sciences, a variety of academic programs, who probably harbor the same hope of pursuing public office down the road. Any particular insights based upon your experience in office that you would share with that group of Gardner-Webb students?
Yes. We need you right now. There's no perfect time. There's no perfect time. I hate when people say, well, when I become successful or when I get this ideal career, okay, let me tell you, you will never be at that point where you physically feel like you have been successful or reached all your goals. So why not do it now? I answered that call as a 20-year-old, as a sophomore at Gardner-Webb. I would go to my city council meetings in my cheer uniform with a dress on top of it, leaving and rushing back to Gardner-Webb to like jump on the court to cheer at a basketball game. Like, if you want to do it, today is the day that we need you. And I believe that we are at a time in our society that we need young people with new ideas and creative ideas to be a part of our government.
So one of the things that impresses me so much and that I like so much about you is that you're a big dreamer. You dream big, you set big goals, you achieve big goals, and then you keep the cycle going. What helps you keep dreaming big? I mean, life has a way of diminishing us as we get older, but you're still dreaming big. How do you keep that going?
Well, and I keep saying this because so much of my life happened at Gardner-Webb. So I was sitting in my apartment, H202, and my best friend from childhood that we grew up together, she committed suicide, and my mother came in and told me about it. And I remember at that one moment, I realized that life is short. And I don't never want to have a point in my life that I'm regretting that I didn't do anything. If I don't do it, and if I do it and would not be successful, I'm still going to be in the same spot. So why not try it and had learned something from it, no matter if I am successful or not. At least I can say that I have done it and not living my life in the fear of failure.
That's well said. So you keep a very full plate, and you've just recently added to that plate, and we're so grateful that you
Yes.
agreed to be elected to the Board of Trustees here at Gardner-Webb. Talk to us a little bit about why you wanted to get back involved with your alma mater in that way.
I think Gardner-Webb, we are in the middle of changing what our norm is. And I'm not just saying because of COVID-19, but if you look over the past 10 years since I've been there, there has been so much movement and so much growth. There's so much movement. And I wanted to be a part of that movement. And I think it's very important that a board has recently graduated alumni on there, so we can reach back and say, this is the problems that I've seen, this is the solutions I think that we should have. And also keeping in the forefront that diversity and inclusion, we are on the cuff of that, and making sure that our Christian environment is loving and accepting of all the diversity and inclusion that we can have on campus.
Well, we're grateful that you said yes to the invitation to join us.
Thank you.
And I love your energy and your willingness to help us dream big. I also want to thank you for something you did just recently. And recently you contributed financially to the Student Emergency Relief Funds. And we've got lots of our students who, like everybody else in society, is suffering as a result.
Right.
Not just physical sickness, but their financial health and the health of their families and homes. Talk to us a little bit about why you were led to do that, and how you might encourage fellow alumni to also contribute to that fund.
I remember being an undergrad student at Gardner-Webb and being a full-time student, full-time cheerleader, and still work 2 jobs. It's really hard, especially if you're a first generation college student. And sometimes those students that are still on campus cannot go back home. And they need that life that they have created in Bowling Springs to survive. And I think it's very important that we do help those students and donate to the emergency fund.
We're about 25% towards our $50,000 goal. We're running this campaign till April 30th. We actually sent out an email to all of our students inviting them to request some of those dollars. Within about an hour, we had 40 requests from students.
Wow.
So there is clear need out there. So
Yeah.
I thank you, and I thank your fellow alumni for contributing to that important fund. As we close up here, tell us a little bit, are you able to stay connected with some of those fellow alumni?
That's funny because I'm getting a group message right now from my Gardner-Webb girls that's popping up on my phone. It says 12 former cheerleaders that we are well connected, and we talk every day. I still talk to a lot of people from Gardner-Webb. Like you said, once you're in the web, you do not leave. And one of the best things besides my education that I ever received were the friendships and relationships. These are the people that have shaped me to who I am today. I'm so grateful for these girls and these people that I can call not my friends, but my sisters in Christ, because we do pray for each other. We send encouraging messages. Whenever somebody passed away in our family, in our group, we show up to a funeral. We send flowers. We are at every wedding. We are at every baby shower. It gets pretty expensive, but we are there. And that's something that, a family does for each other. And I'm so grateful that I received that family at Gardner-Webb.
Well, I've only known you for a brief time, but I can safely say that all of us here are just profoundly proud of who you are, all that you did while you were here, and all that you continue to become. And we're grateful that you took time to speak with us today. Congratulations on everything that you're doing. Thank you for staying connected with us at Gardner-Webb. And we just want you to stay safe and healthy. And we look forward to seeing you very, very soon back on campus.
Yes.
God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. See ya.